What harmful things are being taught to children? Teaching kids not to question things just because someone is older or allegedly wiser is one of the most frustrating things that I see on a daily basis. How is a child supposed to ever develop any individual and nuanced ideas if they can't think for themselves? Being wrong is bad. That's why many people don't change their mind when they were given trustable sources. They don't want to be wrong. No is a bad word. It's a strong word, but not a bad one. Nobody cares about children/teens issues. Well, it's only going to get worse from here. You think school is hard? Have you ever paid a ducking bill? You're just a kid, you can't feel this way. It breeds an emotional disconnect from parents and their kids, and makes kids feel alone in their emotional struggles. That nobody cares, because they are not adults and they don't have adult problems. Being discouraged to speak up about illnesses because it makes them weird something's wrong with them. They talk about like, you need therapy, which isn't a bad concept and you probably do need it, but they picture it in such a bad light. Probably not harmful, but in kindergarten we were prohibited from playing soccer because it was too dangerous. We were kindergarteners. We probably would stand there and kick the ball, not go full on FIFA or crap. Edit. What the duck? Thanks for the upvotes, guys. Basically all those crap social media influencers that teach young people that it's all about money and brand names. Kids are starting social media so early these days. And I think that's very dangerous, because it puts a lot of pressure on the kid to attribute their worth to their social media success. I also think parents are way too open with their social media when it comes to their kids. And it's totally a violation of the child's privacy, of which some parents will never admit. If he's mean to you, he likes you, it just teaches little girls, mostly girls, to expect violence from people who love them. Teaching them that it's not okay to fail. Some people need a little more time than others. It's okay to not get something now. Kids should be given more time to process things. Imagine having a poor grade because of a low score from the beginning of the year. How can we show children that it's not pass or fail? It's try and improve. To repress their emotions, it will only cause them to bottle them up and accumulate them to the point of exploding in an instant. There was this one time my sister's Spanish teacher told her off for using vocabulary outside the sheet she'd been given for homework. Their task was to write a short essay introducing themselves in Spanish and use some simple adjectives. She asked me for help, and since I'm quite a bit older than her and know a decent amount of Spanish, I have her a few interesting adjectives and verbs to use instead of dumb stuff like nice and kind, or whatever. She comes back after school close to tears and tells me she got scolded for using vocab that wasn't on the sheet. SMH teachers are supposed to encourage learning, not hinder it. Right. That failure is bad. Failing should not be considered as an obstacle, but a step in the learning process. Demonizing the failure and stigma associated with it makes many children lose their interest once they fail. I think what we are not taught is more harmful. For example, the fact that we never learn, at least in my country, how to fact check things. No backtalk. Many adults use it as you're not allowed to challenge what I have to say. Makes sense if it's a cranky toddler being negative for negativity's sake. But suddenly older children can't question things or raise valid points of their own. That complaining is the same as not being grateful. Can't count the number of times growing up when adults basically told me to shut up whenever I was complaining about something, and that I should be grateful that I was born where I was. Like, sure, I'm glad I wasn't born into some starving African family, but that doesn't mean everything is perfect over here, and that we shouldn't try to improve things here as well. You do not have to play with everyone. There is a total lack of social accountability. If Laura is always cheating at tag, it's okay to not let her play. If little Billy throws sand in the sandbox, little Timmy does not have to play with him. Laura and Billy need to learn how to play appropriately. You show me respect first, because I'm an adult and have authority, then I choose whether I should show you respect no other way. Making children hug or kiss someone, usually a relative, that they are uncomfortable with is not good. The child may just be grumpy and or not wanting to show affection, or their warning bell sensors could be going off, and they do not know how to communicate that. Plus, forcing them to hug/kiss sends mixed messages about personal/physical boundaries and affection itself. That they shouldn't question an adult. Happened to my son in middle school. A kid sucker punched my son. My son then fought back and pinned the kid against the wall. He has long arms, and punched him a few times. The school called me and my wife and told us our son was suspended. We went to the school and they said, even though multiple witnesses as well as the kid said he threw the first punch, that the school had a zero tolerance policy, so our son would be suspended. We asked what the school believed our son should have done, and they said he should just walk away. We told them that he would not be receiving any punishment at home, and that the policy was ducked up. How to internalize stress and implode as teens and adults. She's younger than you. Just let it go. Can't you be more compassionate? You're the older one here in this situation. She's a little child. She doesn't know any better. Absolutely hate this information that was drilled into me since I was a kid. Edit. I think children under the age of 3 are an exception to this though. I was referring to the 5 to 12-year-olds who could get away with stuff because they were younger. Political views. At ages that children are really too young to understand them. They just spout off their parents' thoughts. In a nasty divorce, the parents may only talk about each other's bad qualities and the kid may have an issues with their parents. If you have a different opinion than someone, you hate them, and that's wrong. The lie that life is fair and things happen for benevolent, valid reasons. Then we let them get burned and figure it out themselves. Doing the right thing will sometimes make others hate you. Be prepared for that. Kids today are more aware of consequence in their digital footprint than any generation before. Speaking strictly of middle and high school age kids, they are extremely well aware of how something can come back to bite them later in life. Some might think this is good and a step towards a more mindful generation. But I disagree. They've just gotten better at hiding it, for the sake of maintaining a happy face and limiting their digital footprint. Kids today repress anything that might be perceived as off track, not owning up to their mistakes or blaming them on others. I would say what's harmful is what's not being taught. I personally hate when I hear parents telling their kids white lies to stop them from doing something. Boys don't cry. Let the damn boys cry. No tolerance policy and fighting back if you are getting beat up isn't right. Also no hitting girls back. Bad ideas about sex from porn. What to think instead of how to think. Lack of electronics. Then given an overdose of electronics. Things happened to me and now I can't stop playing games. Also, I'm restricting myself now. Good will win. Evil will be punished. There is no karma. Some people will do all sorts of crafty stuff and be successful and happy. Other people will do good and will end up with cancer. Little girls get told all the time that boys are bullying them because they like them. Finishing your plate. You should eat till you're full, not until there is no more food on your plate. That you shouldn't hit a woman. Don't hit anyone unless it's self-defense. If my child is being hit by a woman and bullied, equal rights, equal fights. That it's okay to take your anger out on other people, and that everyone should have social media and compare themselves to those who look better. Bullies are only bullies because they feel insecure about themselves, and you should sympathize with them. Duck that. If someone is being crafty to you, then they don't deserve your sympathy. That you can be anything you want in life. Sorry, but this just isn't correct. Poor Eddie who can't grasp basic division isn't going to be an astronaut. History from a single perspective. I'm a history teacher and I firmly believe one of the most damaging things schools do is teach history from a single perspective, especially a Eurocentric one. It just isn't how history works and causes lots of issues for any person/group who doesn't share that single perspective. P.S. Teaching what I call great man history is almost as bad. History was made by more than presidents, inventors, and celebrities. Teaching only about significant figure after significant figure minimizes the impact of the 99,999,999% of the population that isn't super famous. School grades determine worth. School is the only way to be successful and college is a requirement. Teaching them to respect authority instead of learning to freely question everything. That they don't have to be personally responsible for their actions. And blame can always be shifted to some societal ill. We have athletes graduating college unable to read. So, pro sports. Telling little boys to not cry and be a man.